Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the call. I'm Ray Madoran. My wife Barb and I are master coordinators, and we live in Scottsdale, Arizona, and we're your hosts for tonight's call. You know, for those of you that are new and joining us for the first time, or maybe your guests, this is our monthly OPA call. These calls are hosted by the master coordinator organizations, excuse me, that began with Mary and Gary Loomis, and has continued and grown under their son, Rob. OPA stands for Organic Product Associates. Now, this is the name that the Loomises gave their business organization because they knew even in the very early days that their Shaklee business would grow beyond the place where people would know the names of the early mentors and masters, and they wanted to create a family legacy. The OPA organization has grown today where it is doing over $14 million in sales annually with over 250 business leaders and 10 master coordinator teams, including 2 presidential masters. So that's a little bit about the OPA organization and its history. By the way, this call is being recorded and archived on the website opastuff.org. So if some of your people, couldn't be on the call tonight, and you could send them to opastuff.org and they can listen to it, or maybe you just want to re-listen to it yourself. Now I'm going to turn the meeting over to Barb, who will introduce our very, very special guest for this evening. She is not only a terrific business leader in our organization, but she and her husband have become very dear friends. Barb?
Thanks, Ray. Lisa Smith has been in the Shaklee organization for 23 years now. She's a senior coordinator. As Ray said, she and Bill are dear friends of ours. They live in upstate New York near the Canadian border. So she's way up there where they get a lot of snow with lake effect and all of that sort of thing. She is fortunate to be one of 3 teams that has been chosen to mentor with Dr. Keso from Malaysia. And for those of you for whom that name is unfamiliar, he is the person. He's been in Shaklee for 32 years. He just became 60 years old, and he has the largest Shaklee organization in the world. He has more than 100 master coordinators that he's developed in his organization in Malaysia and in Taiwan. And I don't know how many presidential masters. So more than we have here in North America. And that's just phenomenal. And he's a wonderful, giving, caring person who we have worked with through Roland Osterhaus and Carolyn Whiteman on Tuesday night calls that are open to any of you who are interested. They're called MC Mentor Calls, and you can talk to whoever invited you here tonight to find out more about those. But he decided that he wanted to mentor several people in order to spread to North America what he's been able to do from his perspective in Asia. And so we are thrilled to be able to be working with him. Lisa is one of 3 who are working very closely with him. And that's how this presentation that she's going to be doing tonight has originated. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Lisa. And then after that, we will have questions. This presentation will be available to you, anybody who wants it, later on opastuff.org. But Lisa, take it away.
Okay, thank you very much. And I know some of you on the call and quite a few names I don't recognize. So thank you for spending the next, about half an hour or so with me. And I really, really appreciate it. At this time, I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to share with you a presentation that Dr. Keso used in Malaysia and then has helped us recreate a little more in the flavor of the United States, something that you can use. You'll be able to use these slides if you like. So I'm going to share my screen. Just give me a second to get that presentation pulled up. Make sure I do this right. And you should see, welcome to my dream life. Wonderful. Let me just make my screen smaller here so I can, there we go. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate you being here tonight. And I just want to give you a little background about myself and how I got started in Shaklee. And so Barb and Ray mentioned that I've been in their organization for 23 years as a senior coordinator right now. But I can tell you at this point in my life, I am more excited than ever about being in Shaklee. When I was introduced to Shaklee 23 years ago, I was a newly divorced single mom of two, and I had suffered from debilitating headaches, sinus infections and bronchitis pretty much my entire life. Years of antibiotics. I even had a painful sinus surgery that just did nothing to improve my health. And it was really awful for me. I was missing a lot of work. And that was a real problem for me because as a single mom, I was, financially already struggling. And it felt pretty hopeless for me at times. And then I was fortunate that my sister introduced me to Shaklee. And she said, you know what, here are some products that are going to make you feel better. And I was really skeptical, but I was also desperate. So I said, okay, I've got nothing to lose. I'll try the products. After a short time, I was like noticing that I wasn't getting sick as often. The severity of my symptoms decreased. And I thought, I think I'm onto something here. So I started Shakleeizing my home, from the nutritional supplements to the green cleaning products, the skincare, sports nutrition. If Shaklee had it, we tried it in our home. And I started experiencing the absolute best health of my life. And it became clear to me that I had to share Shaklee and these products in this company with other people. And I was a little bit afraid of the sales aspect of it, but I thought, you know what, I can share my story. I'm really comfortable about doing that. So I became passionate about sharing my story with others. And you can see too that, Shaklee has afforded us a lifestyle that I had only dreamed of when I was a single mom. So I continue still to this day to set new goals for myself. And as I mentioned, I'm more excited than I ever was about the possibilities. And in my lifetime, I don't know that there has ever been a greater need for what Shaklee has to offer. And I think, if we have a heart for helping people, for giving people hope, for encouraging them to dream again, there's just no better time than now to join our mission, to join our team, and to share the two critical health aspects of Shaklee, which are physical health and financial health. And I try to think of the impact that we can make as we work as a team together. So although the focus tonight is going to be a little bit heavy on the business side of Shaklee, I want you to know that the Shaklee business model works so well because it is supported by Shaklee's tremendous life-changing products. And as I'm presenting to you, I know that you will think of 2 or 3 or 4 other people that would benefit from Shaklee products and opportunity. And, I ask you, just please consider inviting them to hear about Shaklee. So, we want to congratulate you for joining us tonight to learn about an opportunity that could change your life forever. So I told you a little bit about my life. And now I want to ask you, what do you really want for your life? And I like to ask people to think back, and this is a stretch for some of us, think back to high school or college when your dreams were limitless. You had such plans for the future. I mean, it was going to be epic. And then guess what? Life happened. And you got a job, and you got married, and you bought a house, and then 2.3 kids showed up, and there was soccer games and dance recitals, maybe a second job. I know that some of you can relate to what I'm saying. And so I ask people, do you really even take time to think about what you want anymore? So tonight, I'm just going to challenge you to do that. Take a moment to think, what do you really want for your life? And I know that, for some people that's hard to answer, and I'm just going to throw out some ideas to stimulate your thoughts. I bet we can all agree that having some extra income would make life easier. Maybe it would help you just cover your day-to-day expenses, maybe allow you to save or invest, donate to your favorite charity. If you have kids or grandkids, there's probably some college expenses in your future. And I think of, did you know that just an extra $400 a month could keep someone from losing their home? So wouldn't it be a blessing to have more than you need to cover all of these things? And have you ever dreamed about a career that would allow you to work from home or from anywhere? What would it be like not to have to fight traffic or to drive to work in a snowstorm like we always have to do up here in Northern New York? I love that my Shaklee business allowed me to retire from my teaching job 5 years early to take care of aging parents. And then I didn't have to put them in a nursing home. That was really priceless for my family. So don't you think that most people would love to have the flexibility to work from home so they don't miss the important moments with their family? And have you ever watched any of the home shows on TV and thought, wow, I'd like to live in a home like that? Or maybe you've dreamed about renovating your own home. Or maybe your dream home is just a small, cozy cottage in the mountains. Or maybe it's a top of the line RV that you can take on the road. And how would it feel to drive the car you really want instead of the one that you can afford the payments on? Do you ever dream of traveling the world, meeting new people from different cultures, experiencing yummy foods and culture and architecture and music that are, native to those countries? And maybe taking your kids, your grandkids, maybe your parents or your friends, knowing that you earned this experience by helping other people. There are many people in Shaklee that are enjoying all of these types of things. Why? Because they've helped change people's lives with Shaklee's physical and financial health. And in Shaklee's eyes, they deserve it and they've earned it. So if you're thinking, well, if they can enjoy all of those benefits, then why not me? I say, yes, why not you? Why not start today enjoying those benefits? And we want to help you do just that. And as great as all of these things are, none of them would matter if we aren't healthy enough to enjoy them. Am I right? Unfortunately, many people today are not enjoying good health. In fact, 1/3 of the United States is diabetic or pre-diabetic. We can help people feel better. We can help them feel younger, longer. I'd like to take just a minute to share my mom's story. My mother had 50 years of debilitating migraine headaches. She would be in her bed for days at a time, throwing up, terrible pain, doors closed, phones covered. The doctor used to come to our house to give her shots. It was awful for her. It was awful for Dad. And it was awful for her 5 daughters who had no idea what was going on with their mom. Well, Mom got started on a few Shaklee products, a handful. And she never had another migraine headache for the last 17 years of her life. And I asked, do you have any idea how that changed the quality of our lives and of her life? And I have to always say, we don't claim to cure anything, but in my eyes, that was a miracle. And Shaklee products work. And you all know we've got thousands of testimonies to prove it. So shouldn't we be sharing Shaklee with everyone we meet? Shouldn't we be talking about physical health and financial health as well? So let's take a look at the financial aspects of this. We understand the challenges of getting ahead financially. It seems like the small pay raises we look forward to in a traditional job lag behind the increases in the cost of living. Just a few months ago, I was in Florida. I was visiting my kids and I went to get a long overdue COVID haircut. And when I got to the register and the person said to me, that'll be $138, I almost fell on the floor because I'm used to paying $40 for the same service. So cost of living's tough. Many people try to get a good education or training, get a good job, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the challenge is that we only have 24 hours a day to trade time for money. And if you aren't working, you aren't getting paid. And that's whether you're a teacher or a doctor or a lawyer. And if you need more money, you can't just give yourself a raise. So another option is to start your own business, as 15 million Americans have. But when you're self-employed, you are married to that business and often have little time to do anything else. And with many failing in the first 10 years, there's no sure bet when it comes to achieving financial independence and realizing your dreams. And my heart breaks for my friends right here in this small town where I live, who are going to have to close their doors, their restaurants and their bars because of COVID. So is there a better choice? And I know that there is. And I'm sure you've all heard of network marketing or social marketing. And if you look at this little graph, you can see kind of starts down low and then it starts to zip up. This model works very differently financially from any of the traditional jobs or owning a typical a business. So what are the advantages of network marketing? First, it is an industry that has had explosive growth. Hundreds and thousands of people all over the world are achieving their dreams and their goals through it. You control the speed and the growth of your success, and you can build your business from anywhere, anytime. When I travel from New York to Florida to see my kids, my business goes with me. And if I want to take the morning off to have coffee with my girlfriends, I can do that. And I can just work in the evening for a few hours. And if I just want to take a few days off, I do that too. I have that luxury. So network marketing gives us a measure of control that most traditional jobs don't. And then there's the team effort, leveraging yourself. You own your own business, but you are never alone. You have upline mentors and business partners, like my good friends, the Medorans, to guide my success and to mentor. And they, in turn, teach me to mentor my downline. And then the fourth one is what I think is the number one benefit of network marketing, and that's the ability to earn long-term passive income. So again, if you look at the graph, you earn a little bit at first, but over time, you begin to earn for work you did a long time ago, and you earn ongoing residual income for helping others. And so I'm sure you're thinking of the different ways this income could help you or your family or someone else that you know. And that is why we share the business opportunity. So many families are in dire need. If you think right now of the families that are facing eviction, they're facing unemployment. Some of them have an inability even to put food on the table. You see these long lines of people waiting for bread and milk. So this could be a solution, right? So as wonderful as this industry is, choosing the right company to partner with is just as important. Maybe you've been exposed to the industry before and it wasn't a good fit, or perhaps it was a negative experience. And as with any industry, there are good companies and there are not so good companies. So how do you find the right company to partner with when there are thousands to choose from? So for me, I knew that I wanted to align myself with a company that I could be proud to represent and a company whose values aligned with mine. So I'm going to suggest that you should be able to say yes to these 4 questions when we're selecting the right company to partner with. Is the company solid? Does it operate on a philosophy that you can wholeheartedly affirm? Does the company's compensation plan provide you the opportunity for passive income and financial freedom for your future? Do the company's products meet a real need, and do they actually work? And also I would ask you, would you use these products if you weren't in business for yourself? Will there be strong leadership to support you and to help you achieve your personal goals? And if your answer to these 4 questions is yes, then the final question really is you. Can you see yourself doing what is required to succeed with this partner? And as I mentioned, if you can answer yes to all of these questions, I'm going to strongly suggest at the end of my presentation tonight that you join our team. So let me introduce you to our brand partner. And I think you'll agree with me that our partner meets the test of all of the 5 questions here and could be a fantastic opportunity for you and your family. So our brand partner is Shaklee, one of the oldest network marketing companies in the world, founded way back in 1956, and that is a long history. So Shaklee has the key ingredients that, when combined, make it the perfect company. Those factors include the company, and based on the philosophy of Dr. Shaklee's legacy and advanced by Roger Barnett's global vision, the opportunity allowing us prosperity in all areas of our lives. The products with over 100 years of innovation, and the leadership of the team you join, providing a strong vision, mission, culture, and a proven system, which is vital for your success. So at the end of the day, the critical factor in all of this will be you and the role you decide to play in helping others achieve their dreams. So Shaklee is the perfect company. You know, the core philosophy of Shaklee has always been living in harmony with nature, the way things are intended to be. Consider that Shaklee was the first company in the world to become climate neutral certified. Dr. Shaklee was committed to these principles, and it has been part of our DNA and guides and controls everything Shaklee has done since our inception. And this carries over to Dr. Shaklee's philosophy of doing business in harmony with the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have done unto you. You know, a lot of companies talk about this, but Shaklee practices this. And when it comes to our products, every one of Shaklee's 300 plus products is produced in harmony with nature and good health. That means when you consume them on a regular basis, you can have peace of mind knowing the products will work for you, improve your physical health, and with no side effects. Everyone who knew our founder, Dr. Shaklee, said he was an amazing human being who made a very positive impression on everyone and a significant impact on the world. Born in 1894 with tuberculosis, he was not expected to live long, and there was no cure at the time, so his family moved to a clean, rural farm area where he had the best chance of recovery. During this time, Dr. Shaklee developed a great respect for the healing powers of nature, discovering early on that nature provides almost everything that humans need to be healthy. Thus, his philosophy of living in harmony with nature. You know, he became a doctor of chiropractic medicine in 1912. But gosh, he was a philosopher. He was an inventor. He was an orator. He had a degree in divinity. He was just so far ahead of his time. And in 1915, he formulated the very first multivitamin in the world. And that pioneered the whole idea of natural nutritional supplements. He didn't just go to a lab and formulate some chemical compounds. He went to nature, and he believed that God had put in nature all we need and extracted from nature the very best for people's benefit. 41 years later, at the age of 62, when most people are thinking about retiring, I mean, think about it, you guys, 62, oh my gosh. He and his sons founded the Shaklee Products Company, and he developed a system we call network marketing with the aim of recruiting people to share the products and his philosophy of living in harmony with nature and the business opportunity. So grounded on his philosophy, Dr. Shaklee said, I wanted a company that would improve the lives of everyone it touched. Any new network marketing would allow more people to be positively affected. So Dr. Shaklee had a heart for people, and he was passionate about giving them every opportunity to experience great physical and financial health. So Shaklee's been around for 64 years, and I'm sure that you'll understand why Shaklee has earned the distinction of being the #1 natural nutrition company in the United States. It is the real deal for sure. So we are blessed that our current owner and CEO, Roger Barnett, is continuing the legacy of Dr. Forrest C. Shaklee. Roger didn't buy Shaklee because he needed a job or income. We already know he was already a billionaire, but Roger saw Shaklee as a vehicle for positive change. And that was 15 years ago. And everything Roger has done since has demonstrated his unshakable commitment to carrying on Dr. Shaklee's philosophy and his own commitment to making the world a better place. So I'm confident you must agree with me that Shaklee is the perfect company to partner with. And the Shaklee opportunity is about having prosperity in all areas of your life. You know, we often refer to the Shaklee opportunity as the land of and, because we can have income and cars and trips and homes and good health, and they're wonderful. And we can enjoy them because we know that we've earned them as a result of helping others. So let me give you just a quick overview of Shaklee's compensation plan. This slide shows the various ranks that can be achieved in Shaklee with the actual average incomes earned by Shaklee sales leaders at each rank based on the 1099s that Shaklee submits to the IRS. So with the system that we are currently using and teaching from Dr. Kay So, we encourage a new builder to set their sights on reaching senior coordinator, a great starting place with a decent income of around $34,000. It's a really good starting point. And then looking at a 3 to 5 year plan, pointing to the higher ranks in Shaklee, setting our sights on Master Coordinator in about 3 years and Presidential Master Coordinator in 5 years. Dr. Caso has proven that this is possible when he has builders achieving these ranks in 2 and 3 years. So when you reach the rank of Presidential Master Coordinator and Master Coordinator, most of that income is that passive income I talked about earlier, that income that Shaklee pays you month after month and year after year for building other leaders. And in a few minutes, in a normal conversation, not tonight, but we would normally share an incredible success story of one of our own people in Shaklee who has made some achievement in these areas. So Shaklee itself is not only the perfect company, but it's also the perfect opportunity. Now, Shaklee's products, wow, right, everybody? I said earlier that the Shaklee business model works so well because it's supported by our incredible life-changing products. I bet every one of you has a story to tell. 100 years of groundbreaking innovation. The first multivitamin, the first soy protein isolate, the first biodegradable cleaner. I could go on and on. And when you start experiencing these products for yourself and your family, you will be blown away by the results. You know, products don't stay around for 100 years if they are not the best things out there. I bet you would agree. So we have over 300 products in these 4 product lines. And so whether it's healthy nutrition, healthy weight, healthy beauty, healthy home, healthy kids, healthy sports, Shaklee has everything you need to live a clean, healthy life. And it's worth noting that these products are all consumable products. And what that means is that when someone tries the products, feels better, likes the products, they keep buying the products. You know, I have customers who have purchased every month for the last 23 years. And in 64 years, Shaklee has never had a product recall and has never been involved in a lawsuit over its products. And as a business owner, that sure provides us with peace of mind, doesn't it? So we have all these products, but do they work? Well, they certainly do, and we have the proof. So the University of California at Berkeley did a long-term study of the effects of supplements using 3 groups of people. The first group were people who had used Shaklee products for over 20 years. The second group used other brands of supplements, and the third group used no supplements at all. All groups were tested for several biomarkers of disease, things like cardiovascular health, inflammation, metabolic health, diabetes, and several other things. So Berkeley was blown away by the results of this study, and the study proved unequivocally that Shaklee supplement users had markedly better health in every single category. And if we just look at a couple of quick numbers, here's a summary of some of the key findings of that study. If you look, first of all, you'll notice that the Shaklee users were up to 10 years older than the other 2 groups. That's pretty significant. And if you look at diabetes and the group that used no supplements, out of those groups, 8.5% had diabetes. And with other supplements, 11.1%. And in the Shaklee users, only 2.9%. And if we look at heart attacks, 4.4 and 7.6, look at Shaklee, only 2.5. And I love to jump down to C-reactive protein because that means someone with high levels of C-reactive protein means that they have a lot of inflammation in their body, which can lead and manifest itself in many negative ways. So Shaklee has the lowest, and that is just so significant. So Shaklee has plenty of scientific proof. I mean, we're just skimming over the edges, but we have so much proof to back up our claims, and we are so, so proud of that. So do the Shaklee products work? You bet they do. So one of the things that we often talk about is the Shaklee difference. You know, if you look at some of these numbers, I won't read them all to you, but you know, we've spent over $300 million on research and development. We have over 125 published scientific peer-reviewed papers. That's amazing when you don't even have to prove that a product works. And with 350 tests on every new botanical ingredient for harmful contaminants and pesticides, we take safety very seriously. And you know, you guys, we can rest assured that Dr. Shackley was sincere when he said he would never create a product that would harm a living cell. I mean, that is something we can be so very proud of. But Shackley products aren't just proven by science. They are proven in real life by some extraordinary people. So did you know that Shackley has been on every NASA space mission since 1993? NASA actually asked Shackley to create a drink, which was called AstroAid, for the astronauts so that they would not suffer from dehydration when they entered the Earth's atmosphere. And it became the precursor to our entire sports nutrition line. And isn't it awesome to see Captain Mark Kelly, now Senator Kelly, and his twin brother Scott Kelly using these products in space? That is just remarkable. And then, you know, Shackley products have powered the Olympic athletes to a total of 146 gold, silver, and bronze medals. These are not athletes who are sponsored by Shackley. These athletes choose Shackley because of our commitment to purity, safety, and potency. And they have to be very careful about anything that they put in their bodies. If there's even a chance that the product isn't 100% pure, it could throw off one of their blood tests. They won't touch it. They can lose their ability to compete in the Olympics. So, you know, Shackley products also give them the cutting edge they need to compete. When you think about it, it comes down to split seconds that they're winning by. And if Shackley were a country, we would be tied for 8th in the world for medal count. So we can be super proud of that as well. And because Shackley guarantees their products are going to make you feel amazing and experience better health, there's absolutely no risk. So I have to ask you, doesn't it make sense to try the products and see for yourself? So one of the questions we're frequently asked is, where do I start? How do I know what I need? So we have a wellness assessment. We're actually creating a little bit different one right now, but this is the one we're using currently. And we recommend that you fill this out as a starting point to determine where you might want to improve your health. And the person who invited you to the call will follow up with you and help you determine a great place to start. So it's great because we're going to take the guesswork out of it for you. And so the perfect company, the perfect opportunity, the perfect products. So I'm sure you're thinking, this sounds great, but I've never done anything like this before. I remember feeling that way. This leads me to the final point I want to make. We've also got the perfect team. I mentioned earlier that in network marketing, though you're in business for yourself, you're never in business by yourself. We invite you to join a dynamic and super fun team of people who have a heart for helping others, who will teach you our proven training system, and who will support you with amazing leaders that we constantly look up to them and who mentor us to success. You remember that you are exactly where we once were. 23 years ago, I knew nothing about nutrition. I knew nothing about business. I was a music teacher. What did I know? I didn't know anything about this, but I am so happy. I'm so grateful that I got introduced to this company and these products. So where do you go from here? You print out the health assessment and fill it out. And the person that invited you here, as I mentioned, will follow up with you in the next 24 hours and help you place your first order. Then we will set a time to meet with you to do a planning session and help you get started sharing Shackley's physical and financial health with others. And then we will get you plugged into our weekly and monthly new business leader training. So the last step is you. Dr. Shackley put it very well when he said, your future will be exactly what you decide to make it. I mean, read that again. Your future will be exactly what you decide to make it. So I want to invite you to make a decision to join us and get started right away. Don't wait. The best time to start is right now, and we cannot wait to partner with you. So thank you so much for joining me for our presentation tonight. I look forward to partnering with you. So let me exit out of here and stop share. And thank you all so much for being here. Appreciate it. Oh, right back at you. You were an awesome audience.
Does anyone have a question for Lisa about how she uses it, what she does, what the reactions have been, anything at all?
Don't be shy. Just unmute, jump in.
Sue, did you? There you go. Go ahead.
Lisa, first of all, it was excellent. Thank you so much.
Hi, Lou.
The question I have is, what do you feel has been the hardest thing to overcome in building your Shackling organization?
My head. Yeah. Absolutely sure it is all about mindset. And for years and years and years, I mean, when I started this business, I really thought this was going to be a business for my husband because he can sell ice to an Eskimo. And I wanted nothing to do with selling anything. But, you know, women, we fall in love with the products and we're kind of that emotional, you know, we want people to feel better. So I would squeeze in like 2 minutes of the opportunity at the end of my presentations. And so starting to coach with Dr. Queso and starting to listen to Roland's calls and getting on with all of you guys who come on Tuesday night calls with them, it really became, I've had to do so much personal development over the years to start having a belief in myself that number one, I was worthy of this and that I was better than I was giving myself credit for. I mean, I've been a chicken my whole life with this and I'm still a chicken. It's still, you know, you pick up that phone and you think it weighs like 10,000 pounds. And it's hard to call people. So working on my mindset and then making a firm decision that, okay, I'm done being a coward. I'm done being afraid. I mean, when we look at what Shaklee has to offer, I'm embarrassed to think that for 23 years, I didn't tell people about this opportunity. Shame on me is really how I kind of feel about that. We have an obligation to share it and let them decide. So what if they say no? Who cares? Move on, right? You move on to the next person. And sometimes because somebody says no right now, don't take it personally. It's not no forever. Dr. Queso says every no is the beginning of the yes. Keep dripping on them. Eventually they'll come around to our way of thinking. But getting that firm decision that, okay, you know what? It's my obligation and my duty to share both aspects of Shaklee, not just the products. Thanks for that question, Lou. That's a great question. Hi, Mr. Sherapan. How are you guys?
I don't
He's
see
looking
Mr.
for
Mr.
Mr.
Sherapan.
Sherapan.
Mr. Sherapan's my father.
Hello, Al. And
Here.
Hannah, nice to see you.
Very, 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 very good presentation, Lisa.
Thank you.
Couple questions, please. About how long have you been using this?
We started coaching with this, about 4 weeks ago, maybe? I
Okay,
think we do a regular Monday night business opportunity call with this presentation.
okay.
We got a presentation from Queso and then we kind of Americanized it. And it's still a work in progress. We want to clean up the slides some more and make them a little more current and a little more, you know, attractive to the 20 to 30-year-old group that we're probably going to be, you know, looking to attract. But for now it's working and the feedback that we're getting is just so great. People really don't feel like it's too pushy or salesy. We're getting a lot of really good feedback.
Okay, that's terrific. So you're doing most of these on Zoom now, I assume?
Yeah, I mean, you know, ultimately one-on-one is certainly the best way to present this. And if you can get a one-on-one, that is great. And then lead them to a Monday night call so they can see others on the call and join it as well and others presenting it. But one-on-one is where we want to be. But, you know, because of COVID, obviously that's not happening right now.
So you say a one-on-one on Zoom though too, right?
Well, yeah, we can start with a one-on-one on Zoom, but we do this every Monday night for whoever wants to come on.
Okay.
Dick McLean's Zoom, as many people as he can, as he has room for, I guess.
So after you
had about 40 or 50 coming on.
Okay. So after you do this presentation with somebody, the next step after is what?
the next step after is absolutely to get in touch with them within the next 24 hours. We've hoped that they would have printed out the health assessment, that we post that in the chat for them to print out. We just come in assuming that they want to join us, and then we let them tell us where their head is at. We want to come to whatever level they're at. We're not trying to turn people off, but we think we do a pretty compelling job of getting people to think, well, it does sound like a good opportunity, and maybe they just want to get started on a few products, and that is wonderful. And then we will try to raise their level of thinking to join us eventually in our team.
Okay. So the health assessment, is that something different from Meology, or is that Meology?
Yeah, no, it is not Meology. It's just a printed health assessment. There are several different versions out there. I've seen 2 or 3 or 4. We're creating one that looks a little cleaner and a little more colorful, and it's not quite as cumbersome.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Nice to hear from you.
Okay, Sue Holdren, did you have a question?
It got covered. It got covered.
Awesome.
Thank you, Ellen.
Anyone else? Any questions at all for Lisa?
You're a quiet group.
I had one.
Okay, go ahead.
Hi, Susan.
Hi. You were so natural, and I just wanted to know, did you start off with a written script and then just memorize it, or how did you do
Heavens,
that?
no, I haven't memorized it. No, I use a written script, and I think it's perfectly okay because it's very duplicatable. And what we're really about is making sure that everything we do is duplicatable. So, with my own team, I help them create a script, and I encourage them to use it because it just makes you feel more comfortable when you've got something to rely on. Now, when I sit down person to person with somebody, I'm going to have to get a little bit better at, knowing what I'm going to say. I can't just read off a script. So because we've only been doing this a month, I'm still learning what I'm going to say. And I may make a few tweaks here and there, but pretty much I say exactly the same thing every time.
It's so natural. I really would not think you were reading anything.
Thank you, Susan. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
We want to use the KISS method, right? We want to keep it simple for people because if it's not, CASO encourages us not to get creative. Everybody should use the same thing, and that makes it very duplicatable for everyone.
One of the nice things I think about what the 3 of them who are mentoring with Dr. Queso right now is that it isn't for just our group. It isn't just for Roland's group. It isn't just for, whatever. This is for North America. Anybody who wants to participate in what we're doing and any of the information that they're learning will be passed down. We'll give it to people who want to look at it and want to train their own organizations. But this is not proprietary to any one group, North America.
That is true.
And so often we've gotten questions before, is there a presentation that you're using? And mostly the answer has been no. People kind of been flying by the seat of their pants or finding somebody that they like the sound of and just using those. And this way, there is something that's duplicatable. And in order to be as successful as he has been, that's what exactly Queso has been doing for the last 32 years. He developed this a long time ago, and he hasn't changed it. This is what he's been doing. This is what he's been teaching. And it's working. It's obviously working.
It's given us a process. It's given us a process that I don't think we really had. And we did fly by the seat of our pants. We tried this, we tried that, we did this. Somebody else, Alan would come up with something and somebody say, that's really great. I'm going to do what Alan's doing. I'm going to do what Roland's doing. I'm going to do what Barb's doing, kind of thing. Now we have a process. We can put together a strategy on moving people forward now. And that's the great thing about what is going on with Dr. Queso and Lisa and Dick and Chris. So.
Hi, this is Sarah Stauber.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi. I'm not on video, but I guess you can hear me. Happy Hanukkah to everyone who's celebrating Hanukkah. We're not partying tonight, so I'm partying right here with the OPA, right, Alan? So, Lisa, this was fabulous, and our team's presentation is very similar.
Great.
But there are certain things that the way you flow the information, I really like it. How can I get hold of the script and the PowerPoint? So I'll steal some information.
Well, I know-
opastuff.org.
Yeah, opastuff.org. The slides should be on there. I don't know if they're on there yet. Are they, Scott?
Not yet. I just post everything after the call. It'll be up tomorrow. And if you want to pass your actual script along for folks to have as a sample, I'll post that right beside it.
Okay, and then just, make it your own, let it flow, whatever. We all have to just kind of put our own flavor into it.
Right. Thank you so much. And by the way, Lisa, I was watching the most recent MC Mentors thing that Dr. Queso put on, and you were
Yes.
talking on that one also. You did a phenomenal job, and you're a master coordinator in the making.
Absolutely.
I am a presidential master coordinator in the making, girls.
Oh, you're right. You're right. We'll be there to cheer you on. You're 100% right.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Sarah.
Good luck.
Thank you, dear.
Anyone else? Okay, well, we'll wind it up a little early then tonight. Thank you, Lisa. You always do such a fabulous job.
My
And
pleasure.
as she said in the beginning, I think one of the most important things, one of the most important points she made tonight was the fact that for most of 23 years, and for us, sometimes it's even longer than that, sometimes it's shorter, but what holds us up, what holds us back is right here between our ears.
Yeah.
And when we make that firm decision that Dr. Queso talks about to make a difference and to move forward, then it can happen. But until then, we're stalled. So you've got another tool now in your toolbox if you'd like to use it. Scott will have it up within a very short time. And so enjoy the rest of your week, your holidays, whether it's Christmas or Hanukkah, and have a wonderful 2021.
Yeah, and by the way, just real quick, Monday nights, every Monday night at 8 o'clock Eastern, they do these presentations. You can bring people to that meeting if you want to. You
Yeah.
can bring people to that meeting.
And if
So-
you want the Zoom address, just contact either Ray or I or Carolyn. Roland, if you've got his information, we'll be happy to give that information to you. And I think they can host up to 100, and at least, did you say 40, 50 people have been coming?
Yeah, yes, that's about 40 have been coming on. And of course, the whole goal of that is for everyone to start getting comfortable enough with it so that you want to have your own meetings too with your teams and share that same thing.
Right.
You don't want to rely on Dick McLean or Chris Cresslins or Lisa Smith to do your presenting for you every week. Come on until you feel like you've got it, practice your script, and start sharing it with your own teams.
Great. Yep, that's perfect.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you, and happy
Good night,
holidays,
Thank
everybody.
Thanks so
Holidays,
much.
guys.
Good night.
Excellent.
Night.
Thanks, girls.